It's time to join the American family Robinson again. And this time they're about 50 miles from Centerville in a town called Redfield, the first stop on their trip to California. You remember that after Luke lost his newspaper, Myra decided to visit the West Coast and restore the family finances by capitalizing on her recent status as the only woman who ever turned down a movie offer. And so today we find the Robinsons, Pudgy, and Windy Bill well along on their journey to Hollywood. Luke has disappeared inside a defense factory in Redfield, while the others have gone off to have breakfast. And we now find these three on the road leading back to the factory. We see a strange sight. The old family bus is apparently affected with palsy as Windy and Pudgy fight for possession of the steering wheel. Let's listen.
Pudgy, let go of the wheel. Let go.
I want to drive. I want to do it.
Windy, be careful. You're all over the road.
Let
Please.
me.
I can't help it, this darn brat.
Let me.
Pudgy, let go. Do you want us to have a wreck?
I like wrecks. I want to watch the ambulance when it comes.
Well, if you don't take your hands off this steering wheel, you won't be able to see it when it comes.
Nice, Uncle Wendy. Please let me hold the wheel.
Oh, Pudgy, get down. Get off my lap. Get away. Go on now.
I won't. I want to steer the car like a big man.
Oh, dear, my neck. Windy, don't ever stop short like that again.
Now, what's the trouble back there? I can't turn around. The kids hit me with something.
I don't love Uncle Wendy.
All the bags have fallen down, that's what. One hit me in the neck. Oh, well, I suppose nobody's going to help me put 'em back.
Well, it wasn't my fault, Myra. This darn kid.
Well, come on, Windy. Hurry up, get going. What on earth you stop here for, anyway?
I told you I can't drive with that kid climbing all over me. I can't and I won't.
Windy, you start this car right away. I put up with just about enough of your nonsense.
Well, Myra, I was only trying to
You've
say...
said and done quite enough. It's been one delay after another ever since we left Centerville.
But it wasn't my idea to stop in this town and visit that factory. That was Luke's doing.
Yes, but you were the one who insisted on sleeping late this morning and then dawdled over your breakfast. And now stopping and making a scene in the middle of the street. Can't you drive any faster, Windy?
Oh, all right, all right. Everything's always my fault.
Oh, stay down.
Pudgy, get off the floor.
Oh, leave him be. He can't bother you there. You said you didn't want him alongside you.
All right, if you want him to get dirty.
Oh,
Hey, Pudgy, quit it. Get your hands off
I'm
now.
having fun.
Windy, don't go so fast. Have you gone crazy?
Pudgy, let go, I tell you.
Windy, slow down the car this instant. We'll be killed.
Oh, Pudgy's pushing down my foot on the accelerator. Let go. Oh, there. Oh, I hope it hurts.
Thank goodness.
Oh, Uncle Wendy kicked me on purpose.
Windy.
I only pushed him a little with my foot.
You did not.
Well, there's the factory ahead. I don't see any sign of Lukey.
Well, drive up to the front and ask the watchman if he's seen him.
I'll do this, do that. I'm just a menial. That's all I am. Just a sucker. Now, go ahead out and ask him, Myra.
Well, you ask him. I've got to move all this luggage to get out.
Hey! Hey, you! Come here a minute.
What do you want, mister?
Have you seen a guy come out of the plant? The visitor? Kind of tall and skinny, and he needs a haircut. He went in about an hour ago.
And he's wearing a new blue suit. He bought it for the trip.
Yeah, I know who you mean. His name is Luke Robinson. I seen it on his pass to go on the plant.
Yes, that's right. Has he come out yet?
No, ain't seen him come out yet, lady.
Dear. I know Luke when he gets his nose inside of a factory. Well, we may have to wait for hours.
Now who's holding up the trip?
Listen, mister, I'm sorry, but you can't park right in front of the factory. You better go across to the company parking lot.
What's the matter with parking right here?
Come on, Windy. Start the car and stop arguing, for goodness sakes.
Probably charge a quarter over at the parking lot. Watchman gets a recall.
It don't cost anything to park over there, mister.
There, you see? Always so suspicious.
Well, when you've seen as much of the world as I have, you learn to be careful. No harm in a little prudence.
Goodness, what an enormous parking field. Lots of cars, but they don't have Phillips.
I want to steer. I want to steer around and around like Grandpa lets me do sometimes.
You get away from that wheel, or
I
I'll...
want to steer. Let me hold the wheel.
Oh, let go. Let go.
Oh, go ahead and let him steer it, Windy, if it makes him happy. No other cars around, and there's plenty of room.
All right, it's your car. But don't blame me if it bops into somebody.
Now I'm steering the car like a man, like a big engineer on a railroad train.
Wiggle-woggle, Pudgy. Hold the steering wheel steady.
Well, I'm steering.
There's Luke coming out of the factory now. Somebody's with him.
Good.
Good steering.
I wonder who that is with him. Probably an official. Better stop the car, Wendy. He's coming over. Yoo-hoo, Luke! Here we are! Yoo-hoo! Oh,
Sorry, Myra.
oh, my head. Oh, dear, there go all the bags again. Wendy, why did you stop so short?
Well, you said you wanted to stop. And I...
Imbecile.
Oh, now what's the matter with you?
My face hurts. It hit the steering wheel when you made the car bump. Ow,
Oh, now, Pudgy, dear. That's all right.
Myra, come on out a minute. I want to introduce you to a new friend I just met. Yeah, come on, dear.
Oh, but, Luke, I can't. All this luggage, it fell down.
Oh, that's all right. Just climb over.
Oh. Well, all right. Anything to get out of the car for a minute.
Here, I'll help you. Yeah, there. Yeah, that's it. Myra, I've had the most interesting experience.
Well, I've had a shattering experience myself.
Fix your hat first. It's over one eye.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, come on.
Hey, Lukey. Wait a second.
Well, what is it, Wendy?
Hey, who's that guy that came out with you? Person? Has he got any dough? I want to meet him.
No. You just stay here and pile up the luggage.
And then what am I supposed to do? Just hang around, wait?
No, you can start the car and let Pudgy steer it in circles.
Oh, goody. I want to steer it again. Maybe we can make it have a wreck and have fun.
Now, Luke, who is this man? Goodness sakes, I must look a sight.
I want him to tell you himself. Oh, Mr. Turner, I'd like you to meet my wife. Myra, this is Andy Turner. He just came off the night shift.
How do you do, Mrs. Robinson?
I'm very glad to know you, Mr. Turner, I'm sure.
Well, you see, Myra, I was being shown through the plant Mr. Turner works in. The vice president told me about Mr. Turner and what he was doing for the defense program. So I asked to meet him, and I did. Well, it's a mighty thrilling story, Myra. Make a great story for that defense series I'm starting.
Oh, I have no doubt, but just what is the story?
Look, Mr. Turner, isn't there some place we could go and sit down for a few minutes? You could tell Myra in your own words, just the way you told me.
Why, sure. Let's go over to the plant. They have a recreation room down in the basement. Won't be anybody there this time in the morning.
Fine.
As long as Mr. Robinson here wants me to tell you the story the way I told it to him, glad to oblige.
And so, a few minutes later, in the recreation room of the defense factory, we find Myra and Luke listening as Andy Turner starts his account.
Well, it's like I said, Mrs. Robinson. Up to a couple of months ago, I was, well, you might almost say the star salesman for this canning factory over at Fruitville. That's the other end of the county. Mm-hmm. I'd been with them for about 10 years. I'd worked up a nice territory for myself on commission. Well, this defense emergency came along, and the County Coordinating Committee on Defense heard that I used to operate a lathe before I went into the canning business.
Well, what's the County Coordinating Committee on Defense, and what's a lathe?
Now, wait a minute, Myra. One question at a time.
Well, Mrs. Robinson, the County Coordinating Committee is a bunch of businessmen and factory managers around here who sort of pool their resources for defense work.
But how does it work out?
Well, it works like this. If a company making vacuum cleaners, for instance, has a machine that it doesn't use all the time, and this machine can, say, speed up the work on machine guns, then the vacuum cleaner manufacturer lends his special machine to the outfit making machine guns. See?
Yes, I see. But you said something about a lathe. What's that?
Well, it's kind of hard to describe a lathe, Mrs. Robinson. Let's just say it's a machine that cuts chips from metal. And there weren't enough lathe operators around here to do all that had to be done. Well, like I say, the coordinating committee found out that I used to run a lathe back in Pittsburgh about 15 years ago. So they went to me and they went to my boss at the canning factory and asked if I'd come over here to this plant and operate that turret lathe for them. Because this company is busy making shell cases, you understand?
Yes, I do. Both you and your old boss felt you'd be more useful in the defense program here than in Fruitville.
That's just about it.
But what about your salesman's job?
Oh, they're holding that for me until this defense emergency is over.
Oh.
I won't lose any seniority either. You know, I was the senior salesman and had my choice of the best territory.
How splendid.
Yes, and not only that, Myra. Don't you see, this business about the coordinating committee proves the efficiency of the American industrial system. In other words, men do things better of their own volition than when they're clubbed into doing them, the way they do in the dictator countries in Europe.
Yes, I could see that, dear. But I'm also interested in the things that women are doing as a result of the defense program. If you're on the night shift, Mr. Turner, it must have disrupted your family life quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yes, I'll say it has, but Lily May, she's my wife, she was an awfully good sport about it. She figures any little hardship we're put to is worthwhile as long as it helps the defense program.
And by golly, that's the spirit, isn't it, Myra?
It certainly is. The whole thing is very inspiring. And I'll tell them about it when I get to Hollywood. That is, if I ever get there.
I tell you, this fellow's a hero, Myra.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Mr.
Well,
Robinson.
no, you wouldn't, but I would. Yes, sir. He's a hero of defense. There ought to be some kind of award for fellows like you. You certainly deserve it.
No more than his wife does. She's an unsung heroine of defense.
Well, it's certainly nice to know that what we're doing is appreciated. Makes that fellow feel pretty fine. Say, I'll tell you what let's do.
Huh?
Why don't you folks come home with me and meet the missus?
Oh, well,
And,
that's nice of you, Mr. Turner.
Well,
but,
you can stay for lunch, too.
Oh, but really, I don't think we should, Mr. Turner. It's hardly fair to her just to
Oh,
drop in.
no, I really mean it. Lily May's a regular girl. Why, she'll be tickled to have you come.
Hey, Myra, we got going round and round, the car ran out of gas. And now it's right in the middle of the parking lot. You better come, Lukey.
Oh, dear.
well, in a minute, Wendy, in a minute. Mr. Turner, this is Mr. Winkle, my brother-in-law.
Pleased to meet you socially.
Glad to know you, Mr. Winkle. I didn't realize there were three of you. Well, never mind. Come along. We'll go out to the house now and get some lunch.
Free lunch. It's splendid.
Oh, look, there's Pudgy.
Uncle Wendy left me all alone. Bad Uncle Wendy.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Turner, there are four of us. This is Pudgy, my little grandson.
Hiya, pal.
Four, yes. Well, now let me call... I think maybe I'd better call up Lily May and...
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Turner. I know just how you feel. You call up Lily May and tell her to get her hat on. We're taking her to lunch.
Well, it's still free anyway.
And so Luke finds his first adventure on the way to Hollywood not only pleasant, but inspiring. Will the rest of their trip be easy sailing, or will something unforeseen develop? Listen to our next program, and until then, goodbye. The American Family Robinson, which is heard regularly over this station, is written by Marjorie Bartlett and Douglas Silver and produced by the National Industrial Council.